I must say good morning to particularly Pastor Albert, Mrs. And the members of the Roadside Baptist who are here. I'm really glad to come here this morning, and Kay told you briefly what the, briefly but in detail, what the White Zone is about. And the White Zone is really our effort to bring services closer to you. But let me tell you a little bit about what else happened. What we were doing for the last few weeks is we had people coming house to house, and many of you would have been visited by persons coming to your homes, telling you what violence is, where you can get help, the types of help you can get, the dangerous effects of violence. And we covered 2,000 households in the community from number 68 village, I believe, going back to Skeldon, or from Skeldon coming back this way. And at the same time, the Men's Affairs Bureau, in collaboration with the Men's Empowerment Network, were visiting men on the street corner, rum shop, wherever they could find men, and talking to them too about violence and the dangers and how you could manage anger and so on without resorting to violence. And so this morning, what we were just coming from Skeldon, where the men of Skeldon signed something we're calling the Skeldon Declaration. And it's really just a declaration saying we declare from now on, even if we used to beat up our wives and so before, and sexually abuse our girlfriends, and so we declare that from now on, we're no longer going to do that, and we are going to encourage our male friends and male folk not to do that also. Minister Robert Passau delivered a charge there this morning. He's an excellent example, by the way, of a good father. I mean, people see Robert usually being tough in delivering services in the agricultural sector. What you don't get to see is a very soft person around his children. He simply adores he has a boy and a girl, and he's a fantastic father. He's a good husband as far as I know, and I know his wife well. And as far as I know, he's never hit her, and I don't think she'd tolerate it anyway. So we had a good example. And Robert is not alone. There are tons of men in Guyana who are fantastic fathers and great husbands. But we also know that there is a significant amount of men who are only good fathers and husbands sometimes. The other times, when they drink, when they get angry, when they want to show who's man and so on, are not so good husbands and fathers anymore. And so we culminated that process by having the men sign on and boys, and there was a grab which encouraged me, for the cards that they're carrying away home. And so hopefully, while we might not see the effects tomorrow, we've begun here in Berbice, Quarantine, a process that will see change in our country. And I think for that, Berbice should be proud. So historic moment in Guyana, and I'd venture to say, and I hope I'm not considered presumptuous, historic moment in our region, where we're engaging, and by region I don't mean region 6, I mean in the geographical region and wider field, where we're engaging men in this fight against violence against women. So for me, here what we did at Skeldon this morning was using men to solve the problems that men and women have faced, and children, for many, many years. And I'm very confident that this, first of all, we're moving this program all across Guyana, but I'm very confident that you will see this program being used as a model in the Caribbean and in countries around the world. And about that, I'm very hopeful. But of course, we can't get that done if the communities aren't involved. And I think for too long we have been centrally speaking of what is violence, where you can get help and so on from, and we are bent and intent on bringing this fight closer to communities so that we can involve you, the people who live in these communities and who face these problems every day. So we had that this morning. And then Now we are here, and I join you here to officially open what we're calling a white zone. White because of safety. I have heard comments, and I expect to see them still, that it shouldn't have been white, it should have been another color, and look, I don't care what color it is. If that white flag turn yellow tomorrow, but people know this yellow flag flying here means you could run here for help, I don't care what color it is. So you'll probably see letters in the paper saying it should have been a white flag, it should have been a red, it should have been a purple, it should have been... Don't bother with that. Don't get distracted by that. What this flag flying at the Roadside Baptist Skills Training Center means to the people of this community here at number 68, to the people from Skeldon who will be traveling down and seeing the flag, from people running from Georgetown to go to Crabwood Creek, they're running away from a husband. What it means from an abusive husband is they know they could stop here for help. And so before now, if you needed help from Georgetown, if you needed help from the help and shelter, that is a place to stay, or from legal aid, people weren't too sure. Or if you need help from the police, sometimes women who are abused, just the thing to go to the police is hard because the police station is intimidating, it's staffed by men. Some of those same men don't understand the issue, they themselves are beating up their wives, and so it's hard. So what we've done is this place here, where Pastor Amon, Katrayan, and other members of this church and people who will be here permanently, they'll be able to, first of all, open their doors and take in victims of violence. Secondly, advice. This is what you have to do. You have to go to the police, you have to call legal aid. Here are the numbers, let us make the call for you. Opening their services, opening this facility to the people of number 68 village and wider afield, Barbies. And more than that, there is no limitation on what religion you are. So you don't have to be Christian. You don't have to believe in Christ to come here. That is Christ-like behavior. So these doors are open to people who don't believe in any religion, and it's open to people who believe in other teachings. And we would not open something like this in a facility that would be closed in any way. And so this morning, we launch here what is a safe zone for the quarantine. And this is the government of Guyana making sure our women and children are safe by collaborating with a faith-based organization, the Roadside Baptist Skills Training Center, to make sure we bring all our services here. I'm also told that the chairman of the police community group for this region, he's here, he's standing at the back there in a blue shirt, and we are going to be setting up a community policing group for this area so that there's more access to women who might need the help. Now, let me just say this, and I've just given you the formal thing about what this white zone is, and I don't think it's hard to understand. Once you see the flag flying somewhere, the flag we're going to unfurl, you can go there for help. That is the government's commitment to you. We're partnering with NGOs and FBOs and CBOs. If you see that white flag flying, you can stop there for help, and you will be helped.